Fire away.
Yeah, what's your progress report the last week or so since we talked to you? How's it been going with your guys?
Yeah, just steady. The attitude's been great. In the spring, we throw a lot of stuff at guys, our whole offense and then some. When we go into a game, we'll probably do about a quarter of what we've installed now. So guys are really handling it well. I've been really impressed with guys, the way they're studying off the field. And daily improvement. We talk about we want guys to constantly strive for just getting better each one day at a time, and we see that at really all position groups on offense.
How's Will Nixon done? He's a guy a lot of people are interested in because he didn't play last year. How's he adjusted and kind of getting out there?
Yeah, getting better every day with every rep. Hasn't missed a rep, so he's 100% from the injury. He's another first-year player because he had to sit out. So he's just going to keep getting better with experience. And we're asking him to do a lot, and he's handling it really well.
What's your overall satisfaction level with the wide receiver group and the way that they've performed these first couple weeks?
Happy with them. We're a work in progress. A lot of improvement. Last year, we played a ton of first-year players. So that's a huge difference. Everyone, like an Oliver Martin, a Levi Falk, and Delonte, a Betts, and Omar, all those guys, it was their first year. So there was a lot of thinking. Now those guys are feeling a lot more confident because they understand the offense. They're playing faster, and they've made plays. And the quarterbacks are throwing some really good balls. I'm really happy with the way our quarterbacks have improved their accuracy. And as a coach, it's been fun to watch. I missed that. Alante Brown?
Yeah, what have you seen from him?
Leadership. He's only a sophomore, but he's taking it a step in direction by example and playing really hard. He was a high school running back / quarterback, so receivers all new to him. He's starting to play like a receiver, a lot more detailed and technical about his routes. And he's also a guy that everyone looks up to just because of the way he practices so hard.
With the young quarterbacks, what do you look for in terms of sort of, benchmarks? How can you tell when a guy maybe takes the next step or next step in the spring like this?
Just consistency. So making good decisions, throwing the ball on time, taking command of the huddle. And, especially for the first-year guys like Heinrich, Harburg, who's doing a great job, and really Logan's taking a lot more reps. It's hard for those guys because they got a lot on their plate, and they're doing a really good job with it.
How's Logan's throwing? Frost mentioned on Monday that he's throwing better. What does that mean when Frost says he's throwing the ball better?
Yeah, well, the comments, he just completed more balls, but accuracy has improved. I think, not just him, but all the quarterbacks and receivers being on the same page, getting a feel when guys are getting out of their breaks, when to release the ball. Our offensive line is doing a better job protecting, which gives those guys time to stand in there and be accurate and throw. But he's playing with more confidence. Same thing, he's a year 2 player, and last year he was kind of learning things. Now he knows things and actually directs people in the right direction and doing a really good job.
The vertical passing game, how much of an emphasis has that been? Guys talked about that.
Yeah.
How do you guys work on that?
Yeah, it's something we always emphasize. We want to always stretch the field both vertically and horizontally, make the people defend the whole field. It's the whole offense too. So it's offensive line given protection. It's the quarterback will have confidence stand in there, and the receivers getting open. And we've completed more deep balls than we've completed last spring or even in fall camp, and guys are getting some confidence in that. But it's something we always stress.
When you have guys that in the running back room that miss time because of injury or anything else, how much of a workload does that put on the guys that are healthy? And what have you seen from those guys that have gotten a lot of reps this spring?
Yeah, so when a guy goes down, it's an opportunity for somebody else to step up. So, there's actually a positive side to that. It tested our depth a little bit there, but I've been really happy with how some of the younger guys have stepped up. And it's not just at that position. We've kind of got nothing serious, but nicked up at like typical spring ball at every position. And that's where depth's important, and you need to build that. And the only way you can build that is by having those guys mentally prepared and throwing them on the field and seeing what they can do. And really every position's had, except for the quarterbacks, I don't think they don't get tackled, so they should not miss a practice. But everyone's been dinged up a little bit, and when the next man is up, he's done a heck of a job.
What would define a successful spring for Omar Manning? Is he close to getting to that in terms of kind of the setbacks you had to deal with a year ago? Where's he at right
Like all our guys, so he was a first-year player last year that had hardly no reps, because of health issues. Stay healthy, number one, which he has been. He's been a lot more consistent, and just confidence. And you get confidence with reps, and the more times you're out there, and we see that. He's improving every day, and it's been fun to watch.
What does it take for a young running back? I know it's a long way to the season, but for a guy like Gabe, like what is the path for him to be in line to maybe contribute as a first-year guy?
Well, he's getting a ton of reps, so he's doing a great job. He's one of the more pleasant surprises, and that's he graduated early, so that's a big commitment for him to get up here early, and so part of it is talent. But the other part of it is knowing your assignment and having some maturity, because if you don't know your assignment, that takes a little bit of work on your own, then the talent doesn't even matter. The other thing with Gabe and all our young guys, they're going to make mistakes. That's part of becoming a better football player. And it takes a little bit of maturity not to let those mistakes get you down, play through those mistakes. And he's really good about that. We want guys to have the attitude, you're going to make a mistake, that's how you learn, next play. Learn from it, don't dwell on it. And a lot of times guys have a hard time doing that. They let the one mistake lead to a second. He's not that way. He's very mature. He'll make a mistake, which we expect, and then he moves on to the next play and goes 100 miles an hour. So I'm really excited what he can do for us in the fall.
From maybe like a play calling specific standpoint, we talked quite a bit late this season about sharing those duties. What do you look for maybe outside of just a player evaluation this time of year that you might use when you're coming up with stuff over the summer?
Yeah, so spring's a great time to evaluate guys, to see what they can do well. Try to fit your system around what guys can do well. And that's what we're doing, and especially some of our new guys. Hey, we got new guys at really all positions. What does this guy do well? And then kind of tailor make that. At the same time, too, we want to hone in and improve on the things that we thought we did well. And then always, in the off season, we kind of go and study other football teams, and there might be a wrinkle here and there that might make us better. And if we find something that can enhance our style of play, we'll use it. And spring's a good time to experiment with that. But at the end of the day, our whole emphasis for spring football was to get fundamentally better, as a football team, better blockers, better tacklers, and playing hard. And to do that as a coach, sometimes you got to fight, putting in a whole bunch of stuff and letting your guys execute and play.
Experiment with a wrinkle for Cam Taylor Britt. He mentioned on Monday that he wants some offensive packages.
Well, he can definitely throw. We've messed around with a couple things. I got to keep those secret. But he can do a lot of things. So that's yet to be determined. But he brings a lot to the table.
You guys have got a body of newcomers on offense here, offensive line, quarterback, running back, tight end, but you don't really with your freshmen at the receiver spot. Those guys I know bring a lot of size, and that was a focus of recruiting.
Yeah.
What do they have the ability to add when you get into the next phase of your offseason?
Yeah, well, size always helps. When you recruit a skill guy, a receiver, or a tight end, you want the best player possible. And size is a bonus. It's a quarterback's best friend because there's a bigger target, and less room to miss. And it can help you, outfight, make a contested catch, which is a big deal. But really, when we're evaluating guys, it's not necessarily going to be the tallest guy is going to play. It's going to be who's the most consistent. Who can we count on to make plays over and over again on a consistent basis? Who's going to be where they're supposed to be and play with all-out effort? And that trumps size. And so whoever those guys are, those are the guys who are going to be on the field for us.
At receiver, is there an ideal number that you have in mind that you want to get to rotation-wise by the season? Like, do you feel like you have 7, 8? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. It really depends. We want to have as many guys. If we could have 7 or 8 guys we could roll in and out, that's better for the whole team, keeps everybody fresh. But at the same time, we're not going to play 7 or 8 guys if 7 and 8 aren't ready to play. And there's a drop-off. If we have 4 or 5 guys ready to play, then those 4 or 5 guys will be ready. I'm confident that we'll have more than that, and so the more guys that we can have that, are consistent and that we can trust on a play-by-play basis, we'll play those guys.
Is there anyone surprising you? Is there like someone that's kind of caught you weren't thinking about that's caught your notice?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to single out anybody. The receiver position is interesting because a lot of those guys were first-year players last year. And so it's just naturally for them to take a step up. Adrian is a guy that's to me, you know, I thought he had a good last year, especially with his completion percentage, and really improved towards the end of the year. He's taken it another level from a leadership standpoint and an accuracy standpoint. And I even think from a fitness standpoint, I already knew he's a good athlete and fast, but he looks even a step faster. And he's throwing balls on time. He's really making the receivers and tight ends and everybody look good, because he's putting the ball where he's supposed to be on a consistent basis. So he's jumped out at me. I mean, Austin Allen's leadership, he's taken that to the next level. And you know, he's a senior. He's probably one of our best players last year, but he is not content with that. I mean, he's taken his practice habits and the will to win, and which rubs off on everybody else, to another level.
What are your thoughts on what Thomas Fedoni can add to the offense?
Sure, you know, he's a guy we're really excited about, that brings speed and size, toughness and intelligence. You know, the tight end might be the hardest position on our offense right now to play, because we ask so much of him. We ask him to be point of attack in the run game, but we also ask him to run all the routes the receiver has to run and be able to split them out. And we throw a lot at those guys, and he's handling it really well. I'm just glad he's here early.
When Adrian talked to us last week, he said he's feeling good physically. When he's throwing it, do you sense more of a zip on his passes than maybe there was in the past or last week?
Yeah, he's always had great zip and arm strength, and you know, I think an NFL arm strength. But the thing that I've noticed is he's taken his accuracy to another step. So and thrown when he has to put touch on the ball, he's put touch on the ball, and that's why we've been able to complete a little more deep balls than we have in the past. So I've been really happy with the way he's throwing the ball. Thanks, guys. Good seeing you in person.